So I guess not only will you get to see my scrap fabric in this collection, you're gonna see my yarn collection that I hardly ever use, and I keep trying to give away, and no one will come take my yarn. So then I say, well, I need to just start crocheting, but I have so much sewing to do, I can never start crocheting again. But I have a couple little Ziplocs full of some scrap stuff, but this one does not want to close, so it probably needed a bigger Ziploc, which I think I have now, but I just made it. Yay! I'm gonna set those, I think those should go on top. So these are all just gonna sort of, I'm gonna try to put these in this bin orderly so that when I go back to the bin, the yarn is like orderly and I can maybe find it all and get to it without causing some sort of huge mess. But we'll see. Have a bunch of these sparkly blue yarns, a couple of variegated blues, different variegated blues, and then bright blue. Apparently this was my blue drawer. Also, a random, just disgusting amount of free-range yarn. That needs a baggie, for sure. Oh man, there is so much actually in here other than just that dang yarn. Little bag. There's some ribbons that have other places they need to live now. I moved most of my ribbons used to all be in here, but it was sort of starting to get real tight. So these actually have another place that they need to live now. So I'm just gonna sort of toss them aside for the moment. There, that's good. Above the AC is good. Is that big enough for that blue burst of yarn? Okay, I do need that. That's something I need. Yeah, I think this is big enough. Hey, convenient. Take this skein of white, toss it in there. Got all the wheels for all my various stacks of these. There it went. We'll set that aside for a moment as well. Ooh. You gonna yell at me more than once, Allie? My cat hates sneezing. There's actually also in here these home fragrance oils from Yankee Candle. I've got, let's see, sage and citrus, spiced pumpkin, and vanilla cupcake. I never use these because I think I could never figure out if they were pet-friendly oils. After I learned that some oils are gonna make your cat sick / possibly kill them if you're using it too much. So I've just had these laying around for forever. I'm gonna remove the drawer, try to make sure any grossness that's in there gets dumped out while I'm clearing things out, you know? Slide it back in, move down to the next one. There's a lot of other random stuff in these drawers, as you can already see from the number of things I've just randomly pulled out so far. Tiny ball of bright pink. And some of that may be displaced. I don't know. We'll figure it out as I go. That's my plan. But just in general, because this bin is going to go into my closet, in general, I need access to the yarn way less often than I need access to my scraps. And actually, I should see my fabric scraps more often. So I think making this switch is going to be really helpful for me. And then comes the massive At one point in time, I was gonna make this massive Legend of Zelda themed blanket to drape over the back of my bed. When I had a futon, and I usually I slept on it. I left it in couch mode and slept on it in couch mode and lived on it in couch mode. And I wanted to make a big throw to go over the back of it. And then I never did, and now I just have these giant things of yarn that no one will take from me. Little box of stitch markers, some vintage stitch markers there, because that is from my grandmother. Moving these large ones towards the bottom now that I'm really trying to think strategically about it. Because they're big and they'll cover up everything else, but I can see more colors if the smaller ones are on top. So that seems like a good idea. Flasks. We're gonna leave that drawer alone. It does not have yarn in it. Got some unfinished project pieces in here. Staples and magnets, which both belong elsewhere. Glittery reindeer. That was... Hold on while I sneeze. Okay, I'm good to continue. Glittery reindeer, which was on a Christmas gift basket my aunt gave me once. And I kept it because reasons of glitter. Glitter is the reason. For many seasons. It seems to be everything, so we'll take these scrappy bits and random balls, throw them on top. Boop. And even though this drawer is heavy, I'm gonna change it out to down here so that I have all my fabric up at the top all together and not broken up by one drawer that's not fabric. But that's all of my yarn. That is all of the yarn that I own. It is too dang much yarn for someone who does not have time to crochet anymore. Yay! Alright, back over here with the bins for a moment. We have the small bin and the large bin. And it looks like I'm getting messages. And it looks like I have the most of, down here, the solid colored cottons. So I'm actually going to put those in the largest bin, which still has a little bit of dirt in it. There we go. Alright, I'm going to start with, so that the stacks are sort of easy, the sort of the large scraps. We're going to put those in there first, and then build the smaller scraps on top of it. And I'm actually, now that I think about it, I'm gonna try to get colors grouped together as well. Well, it's not a perfect world, but it should be easier to sort through until it comes completely unfolded. You know, as you do, you organize and then you de-organize and then you reorganize. But yeah, so there's nice little striations of the colors too, so I have a good idea when I look in how much of each color. Sorry, I'm trying to get that on camera. I'm not sure I'm doing it very well. How much of each color I have. That is done. And then, just real quick, all my patterned. My muslins. I'm just gonna throw these on top of the solid colors here. Because I think those will be useful in the same vein. And just again, I just find it easier, better to try to get like the big scraps of stuff on the bottom of the bin. Alright, there we are, and that should be, hopefully, somewhat easy to sort through. I have things going sort of different directions to sort of keep it all nice and not too piled up to one side or the other, but hopefully getting down there to that lovely little rose fabric at the bottom shouldn't be too hard. Oh, I forgot about these pieces. Boop. Alright, that's all done. So we're going to move over to deciding what goes into the drawers and how it goes into them. Okay, so with this top drawer, I've actually decided I'm going to start with my performance and stretch fabrics. I'm starting with these rolls here at the back and bottom, just to make a nice little base going on. And then here's all that micro dot and sequin fabric. Actually, I think the smaller chunks of this are on the bottom. So I'm going to flip that over. I'm just trying to layer things in a way that like seems to make sense to me, so that maybe when I come back to it, I won't go, what in the heck was I thinking? That's my little pile of stretch fabrics, and I actually, yeah, there, that little mesh. Because I don't want to forget that I have this, because I know that I'm going to forget, and then I'm just going to be like, gosh, I wish I had some mesh, and then I'll be like, oh, wait, I did. I'm going to leave that where it is for now, in the hopes that I can keep things kind of separated by types of materials a little better, and then move down to the next drawer. Okay, so here is where I'm going to put my satins, brocades, and tools. Tulle is maybe not 100% like the others, but I don't really even have, well, actually I have tons of it. So we'll see. The tulle will go in last, and we'll see if that even fits. And that's actually all of the satin and brocade. There's really not that much of it. So we will bring in the tools, including the tulle with the metallic blood splatter. And I might also go ahead and put linings in here. Yeah, there's just so few of this lining fabric, and a lot of it is really sort of silky. So in my mind, that puts it in a similar place to the satins. So I'm just going to put those together, put it on top of that brocade, because there's just the one so far. And actually, when I was doing all the stretch fabrics, I forgot about these little stretch scraps, and I'm actually gonna put those up here as well, just because being stretchy, like pretty much everything in this drawer is a stretchy fabric of some kind. So that's where I'll go when I need that. Surprise, surprise, I also forgot about my stretch pleathers, which will also go in that stretch drawer. You can see it's not perfectly separated as I would maybe like in my brain, but there are at least, it is actually more separated than it was before. It is more organized. That was the goal. So it is better. And this is still all just stretch. Here's all the tools. I'm gonna just put these in. Actually, I'm gonna put, because the green is the biggest, I'm gonna put it on the bottom. Be more able to see everything. Unfortunately, this unruly roll of tulle, just in like that. And I think that'll be good, and I think we can move on to the next drawer, you know, until I figure out what I forgot to put in here. Okay, and in this drawer, I'm going to put all those faux suedes and also the heavier garment fabrics. Also including that home decor fabric, I think, because this is really the only place I think those all fit. Or I think that's a grouping that makes sense to me, at least. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so first we have the faux suedes. I have most of that black down there. It's purple. So I want all this dark red stuff grouped together. Then I'm gonna put all of this brown over here. Am I shoved all the way to the back? Yeah. There's a little bit more of that. And the pink, I'm actually going to put that purple because there's so little of it on top of the pink there. And again, some of this just gets refolded and layered and in ways that make sense to me as I'm doing it. That hopefully continue to make sense to me later. Actually, I'm going to allow that black to live on top of that brown suede. So I know that we have coming in next all that gold and silver. This, if there's just so much of this, I wonder if putting this in this direction makes sense right now. It does to me right now, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's all standing up instead of going the other direction. And that is everything that's gonna live in this drawer. And I do have one more drawer and a reasonable amount of fabrics left that might actually all go in here. Alright, and the last sets of fabrics are the snuggle flannels, my furry fabrics, and then my interfacings. I'm actually going to throw this scrap of duck cloth in with my interfacings. Because technically it kind of is. It's an interfacing layer for corsets. Instead of buying the nice cotillion, I used duck cloth. But yeah, and that actually all fit in there really nice. And aside from the fabrics that I set aside to use for my wedding, oh, I forgot about the fleece. I'm gonna work something else out for the fleece because I don't really like the fleece being... No, I'll put it with the furry fabrics, never mind. We'll just tuck this fleece in right under this. There we go. That actually is everything. So, there it all is. I'm actually a lot more pleased with how this whole project turned out than I thought I would be. There's just a last couple little things, really. Some of the last little things include these, not that. That's a coaster. Include these sort of unfinished projects, but I actually have another box that has unfinished projects in it already. So these are actually just gonna get transferred to that box, including that skirt that I didn't pick up when I picked up all the others. There's this one little piece of terry cloth. I'll put that in with the interfacing. But yeah, really the rest is just deciding what to do with these empty bags, and I'm gonna go figure out what to do with the bag of polyfill as well. But the yarn box is good to go back in the closet and almost never have to get touched again, or at least certainly not as frequently as I was touching the box when the fabric scraps were in it. So that's actually, I didn't even think about it until today. So like I started this project thinking it was all going back in that box, but I actually came up with a better solution to a problem I wasn't even thinking about, but I solved it, so we're good. And I'm gonna find another place for that box of color charts. But yeah. This was really a very successful project, actually. I might go back and actually put labels for the types of fabrics that are in each of these drawers on the drawers using my fancy Cricut. because I have it, so why not? I might do that. But other than that, this project is done, and I'm super excited with how much easier I think I might have made my life. So that's where we're gonna end this journey today. Obviously, if you really liked seeing me doing this organizing, if it helped inspired you to solve an organizing problem that you have, if you want to keep seeing me as I'm trying to continue, I'm a continual organizer. I'm always trying to do better. So I'm always doing these projects, and if you guys want to come along on that, just let me know in the comments. Let me know, like, you have any questions about what should I do with this, that, or the other in your own spaces? Ask me, and I'll try to give some answers, some suggestions, inspiration. You know, the usual, like, comment, subscribe, because we all have to say that. That's how YouTube works, right? And I will see you all next time. Bye!